Alrighty, people, welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you for joining me. Welcome to the Sabotage Files. I am Mila, the Mindset Coach. And this week, we are going to talk about imposter syndrome, living like a fraud in your own life. Okay, this is probably going to cut a little deep. It cut deep for me because I have been in this situation. So you can have the degree, you can have the job, the recognition, and still feel like you don't belong. And that's not humility, right? That's imposter syndrome. And it's one of the most exhausting forms of self sabotage. So let's talk about imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is that nagging belief that you don't deserve your success. That any minute now, someone's going to pull the rug back. It's going to pull the curtain back and say, you don't belong here. You're a fraud. It doesn't matter how many receipts you have, the diploma, the promotion, the project you nailed, the clients you've helped, none of it seems to silence the inner voice that seems to constantly whisper, you just got lucky. So, what does self sabotage actually look like? You downplay your wins. You say stuff like it wasn't a big deal. You overwork yourself trying to earn a seat you've already been given. You avoid opportunities because you're scared someone will find out you're not as good as they thought you were. Or you feel guilty for success, like you're taking up space that should be, given to somebody else, or that should belong to someone else. Here's the thing. Imposter syndrome isn't proof that you're unqualified. It's proof that your brain hasn't caught up with your reality. Story time. I knew someone who worked their way into a leadership role. They had years of experience, clear results, and a team that respected them. But every time they were asked to lead a meeting, they panicked. Not because they couldn't do it, but because they believed that they didn't belong at the table. They rehearsed endlessly, second guessed themselves, and feel like they were fooling everyone. The truth, they were more prepared than anyone else in that room. And that's imposter syndrome. I know that in my line of work as a crisis counselor, I come across imposter syndrome all the time. I feel like I don't have what it takes, or that I don't know what I'm doing, or that I'm not qualified enough to help people, through their issues, especially if I'm dealing with my own. But I had a therapist once who used to tell me all the time, don't act like you don't know what you're doing. And that actually gave me a lot of inner strength to, at least believe in myself a little bit more. I still struggle, but that advice, was very helpful. So, where does imposter syndrome actually come from? It comes from a few places. Perfectionism, believing unless it's flawless, that it doesn't count. Comparison, measuring yourself against others' highlight reels. Lack of representation. When you don't see people who look like you in the spaces you're entering, it's easy to feel like you don't belong. I know I struggle with that a lot. And old programming, growing up hearing, don't get too big headed or stay humble. That can make success feel wrong, I guess. So, what's the cost of imposter syndrome? There are a few costs: burnout from overcompensating, missed opportunities because you don't apply or you don't speak up, constant anxiety and self doubt, even when you're thriving, and a distorted view of yourself that keeps you small. So, how do you shift this mindset? Here are some strategies. Number one, collect receipts. Keep a record of your wins by, your emails, your testimonials, milestones. When the voice says you're a fraud, pull out proof. Number two, name the voice. Sometimes giving your inner critic a name makes it easier to call it out. Say things like, thanks, doubt, but I got this. Number three, stop discounting effort. Luck doesn't write a book, build a business, or earn a degree. Effort does. And number four, shift the focus. Instead of obsessing over being worthy, focus on serving. Who benefits when you show up? That matters more than perfection. I needed this more than you guys realize. Even saying it out loud helps me quite a bit. So here's some reflection. Ask yourself, what is one win I've been downplaying? Say it out loud, own it. You didn't stumble into it, you worked for it. So what is it? Imposter syndrome convinces you that you're living a lie, but the truth is the opposite. You're not a fraud. You're proof that someone like you belongs here. And the more you step into that truth, the quieter that voice gets. So if imposter syndrome has been robbing you of joy, the next video is definitely for you because we will be breaking down people pleasing, the habit of betraying yourself just to be accepted by others. So get ready. Thank you all for joining me on this episode. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all next week. Take care.